Hello. So I'm currently doing a little vibe coding just for fun. I'm building an app for, yeah, another habit tracker. This isn't supposed to be like a commercial app. This is just something I'm building for myself. And I'm forcing myself to use voice dictation with my own app, Whisper Type. This is how it works. I can type and then confirm. It's super fast. And one thing I'm noticing, compared to regular vibe coding, where I type out the command, so when I type it, I make simpler commands and I do less functionality in the command in the prompt. So by voice typing, I'm noticing that I'm giving it more complex instructions, more complex prompt like this one. I just sent a prompt to change the color of of this right click menu and add some more features and such. I'm noticing that I'm being more verbose, I'm saying more things, and by doing that, I'm able to ask the thing to do more work in one go. So, for example, a few things still wrong here, but I'm gonna say, so right now, I don't like that the habit title has the typical cursor for typing. It should just be an arrow, okay? And let's try this. And also, it looks like the move up and move down functionality is not really working. So can you double check that you that you're sorting by weight? Oops, we have a weight property in a habit class. So when we print all the habits, they should be sorted by. I can see you're already sorting by weight, so that looks good. But could you maybe create a getter in the habit store? So in the habit store, I want a getter that will sort by weight. And also the code that you have for moving habit up and down, what you should do here, really you should first, yeah, create a new sorted habits array. And then you want to do a for loop and just update weight of all the habits in this new array. So I don't want you to do all this complete complicated changing of weights. I just want you to um, change basically, well, I want you to flip them in the array first, and then I want you to capture the weights of all items in the array, if that makes sense. I think it'll make the code a little less complicated. So as you can see here, I dictated a bunch. I dictated a bunch of code, sorry, a bunch of prompt, and that way I'm just telling it more stuff to do. And it's going to do a better job. If you kind of overwhelm it with your super long prompt, it's going to do a better job. So let's just wait for this one to finish. Looks like it already changed the cursor. This is what I wanted. Okay, we get a sorted habits getter just like I wanted. This is good. And now I think it's working on these. Okay, looks good, but hmm, I think the swapping is kind of complicated. I mean, at least there's some, and I can now dictate another prompt as it's working. So I think the swapping is a little complicated. At least you could dry it up a little bit by having, let's say, one method only. Mm, hold up, not sure. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this works now. I'm not able to move up, but that item should be. It seems now that the option to move up is disabled, but um, but it's still rendering normally. So disabled items should be rendered in some kind of gray. Okay, and also uh, you may need to modify our context menu component to make this happen. And also, I want you to move the habit context menu into a separate component and into a separate file. Okay, cool. So, so as you can see, I'm giving it more instructions in one go. That's kind of what I like about it. It's effectively, it's going to make me much more efficient. even though I will still have to wait for it to do everything, but I can kind of prompt it to do multiple things at once, and it's going to get it done. All right, let's see. Let's see what it's doing. Cool. So this is disabled now. Great. Um, there's even a little cursor indicating that it's disabled. Um, so one more thing, the context menu items, I don't want the cursor, the pointer cursor, but instead I just want a regular arrow even there, okay? I just prefer regular arrows because this is the same as what you would see in normal macOS. When you go here through context menu, there's no pointer. It's just regular arrow. So this is what I prefer. See, it's already changed. It's amazing how we have this library loading and it's changing. You know, whenever I make and like whenever AI makes a change, it's changing. Cool. So it works. I don't like that the code here is still a little bit complicated. Um, So now, don't write any code, but can you tell me if there's any way to make this moving code a little simpler? I mean, the moving of habits up and down. It seems there's a bit of repeated code, and second, it just seems complicated. It's got to be easier to change order of items in array, right? No? I don't know. Like, it's one of the situations, if I thought about it a little bit, then I'd probably, you know, figure out a good way to do this myself, but I'm lazy right now. So I'm just gonna ask AI to do it for me, and I'll wait for any interesting. Oh, cool. So there is a simpler function, it seems. I don't know. Direct array manipulation. Okay. Uh, All right, so for now, go with the implementation of single move function. And also one more thing I'm realizing we need is whenever we create a new habit, you need to, I want you to put it at the end of the list. So I want you to assign it a weight that is, um, so you look at the highest, at the greatest weight we have so far, and you add one to it. Oops, why isn't this working? Here we go. Um, Okay, I'm gonna be happy with this for now. Even though if I actually thought about it, I might come up with a better solution. But this app is not, production code. This is just fun thing that I wanted to do in like 2 hours. It's already taking much longer than that. So let's just call it done. See if that works. I'm gonna refresh just for good measure, but I don't really have to move down. That works. That works. Cool. And if I create a new habit, will it go to the end? And that goes to the end of the list. And I think it has the correct weight, but I can check in application, local storage. We have this copy value, can edit value, and then paste it here. And new habit. Oops, it's not showing up. Oh, can we just get this all JSON formatted? Huh, never mind. There's tidying. And this thing is an array, so probably I wouldn't even have to use this weight property. Actually, yeah, I'm forgetting that this is not a database. This is an array. So, you know what I'm thinking? The habits is an array, so I don't really have to use the weight property to keep track of the order. The array is ordered by itself, so I think you can remove the method to sort by weight. And also, I think you can completely remove the anything that has to do with weight. And instead, when moving habit, we just need to switch places in the array, and that's it. So that'll simplify it even more. But once again, my point is that by dictating, I gave it a lot more information than I normally would if I typed. All right, this is the last thing that we do in this video, because this now we're like kind of wasting time. I mean, if you're vibe coding a little app, you don't have to go crazy about these things. But it's always good to use as little code as possible. And especially when using AI, you're introducing plenty of code that you don't actually need there. Because AI is just like this eager junior programmer, and you have to be the senior here and kind of watch it for adding on. So this is like a typical thing when I was less experienced, I would write more code than necessary. And if I had a senior programmer who worked with me, they would always catch the extra code and kind of point it out in the review. So this is your job now. You're the senior, and AI is your junior programmer, and he's going to be eager. He's going to write more code than is necessary. You have to tell it to kind of remove the extra stuff, like I'm doing right now. Okay, so let's see how well that worked. Move up and create a new one. Goes to the end of the section, and maybe try reloading, see if they're in the same order. Cool, so I can clean up a little bit, clean up these habits, and actually use it for my own use case. All right, I'll do another video and I'll show you how will vibe code actually remembering their states.